Yeah, we are back. The dynamic duel. Man, oh man. Yo, it's been a minute since it's just been us, yo.
This is true.
It's a cool minute. Man, what's up, world? Y'all know who it is. Y'all know who we are. But I cannot move forward without introducing
There
the
you go.
man, the legend, the myth. What's up, Hendo?
Chilling. What's good with you?
Man, it is good to be seen, man. Speaking about being seen, man, yo, last Friday was lit, bro.
That it was. It was a
It
good
was
turnout.
lit. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, man. Yo, for all that missed it, man, shame on y'all. But that's all right. Y'all can redeem yourself next year. And if y'all don't know what we talking about at this point, man, just follow us. Hendo, Galloway. Just follow us on our IGs. You know what I mean? All our information is below, etc., etc. Blase, blase. But man, yo, I cannot start the show off, man. Cheers to hip hop, man. 50 years, bro.
All right.
50 years, man. Y'all want to start the show off with saying this, yo. And for those that don't know, I'm Mr. Galloway. What's up, world? But man, Stevie Wonder, happy birthday song. We both grew up on that, man.
Facts.
You know what I mean? And then my man 50. And yes, yes, I talk about 50 all the time. But in the club to me is another celebratory song about birthdays, man. But I challenge the world. I challenge hip hop. We need to make a song for hip hop, for the hip hop birthday. You get what I'm saying?
hmm
Yeah. Would you agree?
I agree. I mean, you got the musical talent, you got the means, the resources.
Hmm.
Do it.
How about that? How about that? I'm gonna work on that. I'm gonna work on that. So, surprise, surprise, August 11th, hip hop 50th birthday. And you know we're gonna talk about it. How could we not talk about it? You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna do something a little different. Man, I got these envelopes here. I'm gonna open up the envelopes and see what the topic is. And we're gonna talk about the topic.
Okay.
How you feel about that?
That's what's up. Something a little
Okay.
different. Let's do it.
Okay. All right. So envelope number one. Oh, they can't see it.
You still can't see
Still can't see it.
it.
It's hip hop the culture. So we want to talk about hip hop the culture, the very beginning. And I'm gonna jump it off, Hendo, because to me, we were always the air, the heartbeat of the street. You get what I'm saying? You
hmm
take it back, broken glass everywhere. We always did the commentating. I feel like hip hop from the very beginning, they brought awareness, whether we liked it or not. Everything America, society, the world turned a blind eye to. We reminded them of that. When they looked in the mirror and see themselves and see society around them, we reminded of them of that. I feel like and I'm not knocking any other genre, but I feel like we're one of the realest genres culturally ever. You get what I'm saying? I feel like what other genre would talk about plucking roaches out the cereal box? You get what I'm saying?
hmm
You know what I mean? Splitting a pair of pants. You know what I mean? Between your brother.
Right.
You know, being on welfare. You know what I mean? Who else would do that? Your thoughts?
Hmm. My thoughts on the culture of hip hop. Listen, me personally, I love it. Like you said, this is our music,
Mm-hmm.
or it has been our music,
Mm-hmm.
or it once was our music. Listen, we started everything. We started music. If you want to
Mm-hmm.
go back to the drums back in
Mm-hmm.
Africa, if you want to go to blues, R&B, rock and roll, we invented it all.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I just think that the hip hop culture, even though it integrated everybody, like hip hop is welcoming. Like I said, hip hop is my religion and rap is
Mm,
my scripture.
mm,
So this is one of the art forms that we had for ourselves that we made that predominantly back in the day we did.
mm,
It was just party. It was just a culture, a cultural fit for us to represent what we felt, how we were. We weren't our grandparents or our parents, and it was the start of a movement of individuality.
right.
I mean, hip hop lets you be you. I know
Mm,
it may not be the same now. Everybody's copycat. You know, they got the bubblegum stuff going on, but back then it was a sin for you
mm,
to copy somebody else's style.
facts.
So I think that it made people a little more creative, a little more innovative in the coming up with something that was their own. And the thing that I love about hip hop and rap
Mm,
is each region has their own thing.
mm, mm,
It may have been birthed in New York. Now, I personally, and some few others, is a little dispute. I think hip hop may have started in
mm,
1972. So hip hop may be
mm.
51, not 50. But you know what I mean? It's all semantics. I just, like I said, I just think it just gave us an opportunity to express who we were as a people.
Facts. Facts. Yeah, yeah. And it to me, I don't want to go there, but I guess I'm gonna go there. I feel like culturally, we've been robbed. You get what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And I feel like hip hop rescued rescued us from that. You know what I mean? I feel like it is our religion, like you said. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? It's all I know. You know what I mean? It's something to be proud of. You know, it's something. It's definitely a reflection of ourselves, man. So I love hip hop. Even that, man, hip hop taught me how to dress. Hip hop taught me how to love myself. You get what I'm saying? Hip hop
Mhm.
taught me about LA. Hip hop taught me about Atlanta. Man, hip hop taught me about London. I owe that all to hip hop, man. You know, because of hip hop, man, we can see the world from where we're standing. Man, that's a ball. I'm gonna have to put that in the mental Rolodex. Man, oh man. But yeah, it's the culture itself, man. I appreciate hip hop. I love hip hop for that. All right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Look like Hendo is a little frozen right now. So let me see what we got. Let me see who's out here hanging out with us. Dame Marge Beats, man. What's happening, my bro? Man, Bazel. Bazel. What's that? Naisha. What's up? What's up, sis? What's up? You're right, Dame. Hip hop is definitely the soundtrack to our lives, man. For sure. Hip hop is the soundtrack of our life, man. So yeah, I'm gonna say this. I didn't want to go without Hendo, but I'm gonna move on to the next topic, man. So let's see what we got in the envelope next to talk about. Backpack rap. Now I'm unsure who came up with the phrase backpack rap, but I don't know how I really feel about the phrase backpack rap. You know what I mean? Is it a way of saying it's not really cool to speak consciously? I think one of the best conscious rappers of our time was KRS-One. And I'm unsure if I would really call him a backpack rapper. Man, I think I would call him a leader, a teacher, you know, someone that informed us, you know, like even the Chuck D, you know, he spoke from a place of knowledge. And I feel like he's one of the most street people ever. Ice Cube, he's another brother. You know what I mean? Ice Cube, it's a lot of other people that brought awareness. You know, so I definitely feel like backpack rap is more of a cliche statement. You know what I mean? You have I guess people like a Tribe Called Quest. You know what I mean? De La Soul. people like that. But I really love the positivity of hip hop. And I feel like it's well needed. You know what I mean? Just like you think about the movies. You have different genres. You have genres for love. You have romantic comedies. You have inspirational movies. You have gangster movies. And I think that they're all important. So I definitely feel like backpack rap, conscious rap. Hey, you got like a Kendrick Lamar, a J. Cole. You know what I mean? These guys, man, and their talent and what they bring to the table is absolutely amazing. Would y'all agree? Would y'all agree? Man, oh man. All right. I guess I'm gonna do this solo. Let's see what we got in here next. Gangster rap. I think I'm gonna hold on to gangster rap because I definitely want to pick Hendo's brain with this one. But cheers to hip hop. Now, for y'all that don't know, last Friday we all got together for the meet and greet. Man, it was an amazing event. Everybody was there. Everybody and anybody was there, man. We had lunch break hot take, sip the tally. We had Hendo and Roll Part. Man, it was a packed event. And yours truly was there. Man, I was running around with my selfie stick, man, taking video, doing commentary. Man, it was amazing time, man. It was truly an amazing time. Y'all got to check us out, man. Next year, we're going to do the same thing. So cheers to that. Cheers to hip hop.
My bad.
Yeah.
Power outages.
Oh man, it's all good. It's all good. I parlayed that. And I opened up the second envelope, talked about backpack rap. And I gave the world my thoughts. You want to give your world of thoughts on backpack rap?
Before we move on to that, I just want to talk about what you said about, we've been robbed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe that. I believe that phrase, the game is to be told, not sold. We sold our souls with hip hop. Once we found out it was profitable, we sold it. We sold it to everybody. When I'm telling you, even the old lady that you hugged at the meet and greet, she's talking to me about hip hop. And she had to be like 60, 70 years old. So I think for that almighty dollar, we sold it. They didn't rob it from us. You know what I mean? If anything, we let them take it. And we easily gave it up because I'm not going to say by whom, but it's forces out there, it's entities. And when people live in a situation, like you said, plucking roaches out their cereal, they want to get out of their situation. They want to provide for their family. So, they do that. But backpack rap, that was a glorious time in the world. For me anyway. Backpack rap was, it was mostly positive. Wasn't saying anything out the way. Them dudes was pushing some stuff. And it kind of caused a divide in hip hop. Because, right after that came the gangster rap era, which we'll get into later. But, if you were talking that other stuff, you was considered soft. And a lot of MCs didn't make it because dudes was like, man, I ain't trying to hear that. I'm not trying to hear positivity and unity and come together as a people. So, yeah.
Tyler, what's happening? Thank you for joining us. We greatly appreciate it. It was funny. I'm gonna piggyback off of that because I kind of went that same direction as well. Because when I think of like yourself, backpack rap, I think of conscious rappers. And you got people like, man, KRS-One. To me, he's one of the gangster MCs. You know what I mean? He was just talking that knowledge itself from the streets. Rock him. You get what I'm saying? Is he necessarily a gangster rapper? You know what I mean? If you really want to go there, Wu-Tang, knowledge itself. A lot of people. So to me, man, that backpack rap phrase, I think I get it, but I don't know how I all the way feel about it. Ice Cube, another example. You know,
Another
Ice
example of what?
speaking well, positivity. And the reason I want to say that is because he like, all right, yeah, I see what y'all doing to us, but guess what? You know what I mean? From that approach. Like I feel like that was Chuck's approach.
After he went to New York and got with Chuck. You
Mm-hmm.
mean? And also but you also got to look at it like this. So you speak of Rakim, you speak of these rappers, but it's all about presentation. You speak about the Wu-Tang. You know what I mean? You can rap ish up in a pretty package and hand it to somebody and they'll take it.
Mm-hmm.
So because Rakim, Wu, and all them weren't wearing the colorful clothes, the flowers, the polka dot shirts, you know what I mean, didn't have the colors and stuff going through their hair, it looked different. So it was
Mm-hmm.
accepted because I can speak positivity, but if I got that look, you gonna believe me when I tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
Don't cross that line.
Right, right.
But in us, one of the greatest groups of all time, A Tribe Called Quest,
Mm-hmm.
of all time, you can put them up against any era, and they're gonna
Fact.
shine.
Mm-hmm.
But some people couldn't get with them because they weren't talking that hard stuff. And I think like that was the downfall of like Kid and Play. Like
Mm-hmm.
they just wanted to do fun stuff, make people dance, get
Mm-hmm.
everybody out there. But because they look soft,
Mm-hmm.
nobody was checking for them. That's why it was a discrepancy on the countdown with them.
Right. Facts. I concur. I concur. Scotty Rivers.
Where you at,
What's
Scotty?
happening?
Where you at,
Yeah,
Scotty?
here you go.
You,
Hendo.
you just said when I'm gonna be on the show, when you gonna let me be down, I don't see you here.
You hear from Hendo's mouth. That invite is there. The invite is there. So I opened up the envelope already, but we're going to talk about gangster rap. Now, I'm going to say this, and
Mhm.
I was dying to talk about this
Okay.
because I watched the Men That Built America, right?
Mhm.
And this is just my assumption. You know what I mean? I feel like gangsters been here in society forever. You get what I mean? I feel like looking at that documentary or that docu-series, I should say, people took what they wanted. And however they needed to get what they needed, they did what they had to do to get what they had to, get what they needed.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now, was that a thug approach? Is that a gangster approach? You know what I mean? When you look at the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds and all them, you look at them as great men. But what did they had to do to get to where they had to go? You get what I'm saying? But then you look at a Hove, you know what I mean? And then you look at him like, oh, this was an ex-drug dealer, he did that, or Master P. You know what I mean? That's how they got to where they got to. But I just feel like, man, they did what they had to do to get to where they had to go. Now, I'm not glorifying anything that anybody do,
Right.
but I feel like it's an even playing field.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Shucks, I was watching this other show. I want to say it's made by the same people. The Food, I think that built America, something of that nature.
Mhm. They did
Eh,
the different series like that.
Oh, yeah. But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to blow it up, but I'm gonna just say this one cookie company, right, was
Mhm.
out there. They got creative with their cookies and they were winning. And this other cookie company that was on the come up, they saw what they did and kind of swindled them out of their situation. And long story longer, to this day, they're still winning. Man, we got a special guest in the house, man. And he disappeared. Hopefully he come back shortly. But yeah, so you know what I'm saying? Pretty
Yeah.
much. Why is it such a stigma with hip hop and gangster rap?
You asked me that question?
Yes.
Well, you know what the stigma is. Listen, throughout history, anytime anything takes place, it is dependent upon whom does it.
Mm-hmm.
It's dependent because look at society, look at throughout history. I'm gonna just give you two examples: The Godfather and Sopranos. People
Mm,
love that mobster mafia lifestyle. They love
mm,
playing video games about it. They love watching movies about it. They love trying to be a part of something like it to some extent.
mm,
But because it's not us, it's
mm,
acceptable. You know
mm,
what I mean? Gangster rap, and I don't even know if we should continue to call it gangster rap. Maybe we need to call it reality rap.
mm,
You know what I mean? Because all we did was talk about our situations and circumstances.
mm,
And something that just dawned on me is it's the same thing that's going on in the schools with critical race theory.
mm,
You got European Americans that know the history,
mm,
they've learned the history,
mm,
but they don't want the history taught
mm,
because of their guilt.
mm,
I don't need reality rap in my face because now I'm falling victim of the guilt of the impoverishment that I place upon people. That my
mm.
not me personally, but my ancestors, so to speak.
Right.
You know what I mean? So all it is us telling what we see and what we've been through. If you don't
Mm,
want us talking about drugs and whoring and
mm,
violence and all that stuff, stop putting us in these situations where we can't get jobs, we can't get the education, we
mm,
can't move forward as a people. Because back then
mm.
we spoke about what we knew.
Facts.
Don't get mad at me and don't come out and sit there and say, hey, this music incites violence.
Mm,
It incites a disdainable lifestyle and certain things like that. But once the European Americans took hold of rock and roll, what does that do?
mm,
It's the same exact thing.
mm.
You'll see more riots going on at a rock and roll concert than you will at a rap concert.
How
But that's
about
not
that?
what they put out to everybody. They don't put that out there in the atmosphere because
Right.
they don't want to be reminded. And I've said this before in so many different places. You are history's greatest rapists, thieves,
Mm,
murderers, and
mm,
liars. The greatest.
mm.
You are the GOAT. You are the Jay-Z of all that is horrible with this world. And they do not want to be reminded of it. I love my wealth. I love my status.
Mm,
But I don't want to be reminded of how I got it.
mm.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Because it's out of sight, out of mind. Oh, yeah, my grandfather owned slaves. I
Mm,
don't really want to talk about that. I just know I have generational wealth. So
mm,
when it comes to reality rap, or when it was back then, it just was us speaking our truth.
mm.
Rap is just poetry put to a beat.
Facts. Mm. Yes.
You
I
know what I
would.
mean?
Yeah. I would definitely agree. Oh.
So, do you think?
Oh. No. No. My bad. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, it's just that with anything, I don't care what it is. Certain people are gonna take it a little too far left.
Mm,
No matter what it is, I don't care if it's eating, religion. I don't care sports. People
mm,
take things a little too far left. And with the reality rap, I get it. I get certain aspects of it, and you preaching upon your life. But we took it a little too far in some aspects.
mm,
You know what I mean? Even to this day, we got
mm,
other women calling each other bees.
mm.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
life
Yeah.
imitates art.
How about that? I'm gonna play devil's advocate on you. Shout out to Yolanda B. What's up, sis?
What's going on?
Jay,
Suge.
what's happening? Shug, what's happening, my guy? Ferris, what's up, good brother? That's my guy there, boy. I love Ferris. But
Glad you made it home safe.
yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna play devil's advocate on you.
Mm-hmm.
We grew up with hip hop and these guys, quote unquote, the gangster guys, they had to walk it like they talking, right?
Right.
So then you had this impressionable generation, the generation now, I'll say. They see that, right?
Right.
One thing that I guess they didn't realize that not all of those guys, let's say 80% of those guys really was living and doing what they was doing. Or they had those type of guys around them doing what they was doing and they was just highlighting their life, right?
Right.
I feel like this now generation, they saw that and said, okay, if this is what it is, I really got to talk that talk. I really got to live that life. So when I'm out here and I say I shot somebody, I really shot him. If I sold oogobs and drugs, I really did that.
Right.
I guess the downside of that is you got the hip hop police make an example out of him because of that. But really, is it our fault? They saw what we did and said, hey, if I got to keep it real, I'm going to keep it real. And I'm going to talk about my life and what I did.
Right. I mean, listen, that hip hop police stuff and all of that to me is a bunch of nonsense.
Mm,
Because if you really look into the situation of it all, what happened is they put the drugs in the neighborhoods.
mm,
They put a liquor store on every other corner.
mm,
They made it a situation where we could essentially thin out the population, is what
mm,
they were doing. Then also, it's dependent upon the state. I'm not saying every state did it, but 99.99% of them did. They did the policing to get police funding.
mm,
Because if we don't have any crimes, we don't need as many police. We don't need budgetary additions to kind of fund the things that they were doing. Yeah, we seen cops sleep on the side of the road, getting
yes.
paid overtime. So without all of these things, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, Brandon, we didn't have passports about drugs.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? The CIA introduced LSD
mm,
to try to mind control people.
mm,
Like we ain't got no planes. We don't own these things. So that with the hip hop police and all that living and stuff, most of them lived that life and they just spoke
mm,
upon the stuff they did. A lot of them didn't. A lot of them, once again, a lot of them saw, hey, I've seen dudes that I used to live around the corner from make a
mm,
way outside the neighborhood.
mm,
So let me talk about the things that I've seen, but I'm just
mm,
putting myself in those situations.
mhm.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Everybody lived in these areas. We've walked
Mm,
past a corner and
facts.
seen some things go on.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
seen people shot, beat up, all types of
Mm,
things. So, you know, what I mean, it's just sad that we're kind of put into this globe. You remember the
mm,
little globes that you shake?
yes. Yes. Yes.
They put us into those little globes and try to classify us into something that we're not. And
Mm,
even if we are, where do you think we learned it from?
mm,
Who do you think we learned all of these things from? We learned, you know what I'm saying? Remember that commercial about the drugs when the kid was like, I learned it by watching you, all right?
facts.
That's who we
Facts.
learned. But I got a hip
Yes.
hop question for you.
What's up? What's up?
And in the chat, if anybody know, who technically, theoretically, was the first person to put reality rap on wax?
Easy. Melly Mel.
To an extent, yeah. But
Who were you going to say?
I mean, coming up with the gangster rap, quote unquote, as it is. And then I'm gonna tell you why I say this.
Hmm.
You may not think of him because he was popular over on the West Coast. He didn't really have that commercial success, but yeah, he was the first dude banging on wax.
Ice-T?
No. Yeah, Jay,
Hmm.
it is a question for the old heads. Like you got to be really into hip hop or really old to know this answer. You don't know? You
Hmm.
ready for me to tell you?
Yeah, I feel ashamed for not knowing this one.
DJ Quick.
DJ Quick.
And the reason that I said this is because when you said like most people were living it, most people weren't. Quick was living it.
Mm-hmm.
Like he knew Suge and all them, and he did what he did. But the dude that wasn't living it was MC8. And
Mm.
your man, I can't remember how it go, but in one of his tracks, he was like something. Should I continue? You left out the G because the G ain't in you.
Mm.
Because he did not spell his name with a G in it.
Wow. Hmm.
Because he really wasn't living that life.
Ah. This is why you got to tune into the show. Gems. All gems. Yeah, yeah. That's good info there. That's good info. Man, oh man. Well, last envelope for the night, y'all. Drum roll, please. Let's
Pow.
see. The rap business. The rap business. You want me to go first?
Yeah, let me think about this for a minute. Go ahead.
All right.
Oh, wait a
Reason.
second. I'm sorry. Question. The rap business as a whole, the rap business as it was, the rap business as it is now.
All of the above. I'm gonna say this, right? You talking about making a way out of no way. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Making words rhyme. I don't want to get on the tip, but I feel like we the forgotten people. And here you got these poverty stricken conditions that you're in, and here you got the mindset to put words together and express yourself in a way and eventually feed your family. You know what I mean? And hip hop is getting to a point now where you getting second and generational wealth. Like look at Blue, look at Jay-Z's kids. They don't have to pick up. They don't have to pick up a gun. They don't have to pick up a mic. They don't have to pick up and go out the door
They
to
ain't
a
gotta pick up
job.
their they gotta pick up their clothes.
Exactly. All of that because of hip hop. Hip hop, something they thought was a passing fad. Hey, I'm gonna go deep with it. I'm gonna go deep with it, Tone. We were slaves. They ain't even want us reading a book.
Mm-hmm.
And look what we did. Look at God. Years later, we took them same words they tried to hide from us, and we created a business out of. It's amazing.
Can I say one thing?
What's up?
We invented words. We invented language. We
Mm,
invented art. We
mm,
invented music.
mm.
We just took back what was ours.
How about that? Well said. Well said. Well put. So sometimes people might look at rappers and like, oh, here they go, putting money up to their ear. Oh, here they go, $200,000-$300,000 cars showing us in a video. Oh, here they go with these gazillion-dollar homes and this beachfront property. But man, they deserve it. You
Mm.
get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The talent it takes. And I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna go there tonight. Man, as fickle as we are as a people. Because we're fickle. We don't like everything. You get what I'm saying? Oh, he all right. Oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
So for any rapper, and I don't care if they was a one-hit wonder, anybody to make a song that the world love, man, you gotta salute them. So that goes from Vanilla Ice, you get what I'm saying, all the way up to
Snow.
I'm keeping it a buck. He made it. Yeah, he
Snow.
made it. Yeah, he made a hit song. You got all the Trinidad James, all of these people. You get what I'm saying? You know,
What is it? Gerardo. Fico Suave.
yeah.
Been a few.
These, yeah. You know what I mean? So, to be able to do that with a fickle society and to be able to feed your family and to sustain yourself. I was watching earlier this week or last week, I should say. I was watching Good Morning America. They had LL on there. Speaking of which, LL is doing a project with your boy Q-Tip.
Mm.
Yeah, Q-Tip is doing the production. Anyway, man, I was on there looking at L, and I remember, and here I go telling my age. I remember watching a young LL on Beach Street, like, who is this dude? And
Mm.
look at him years later, still out here making music, making money. Man, he's all on TV, all on these different shows, acting. You got Latifah, you got all of these people just doing that thing. Even Will Smith. They could talk about Will, but look at all he did.
True.
And y'all brought it. Y'all ran to the theaters to watch the Will Smith movies. Come on, man. So that's what I'm saying when I mean, the hip hop business. It's not going nowhere. That's why I feel like Karos One is a prophet, man. He said it best, man. It'll be here forever.
All right. Well, phew, how do I follow that up?
Hmm.
Let's see. Hip hop, the business of hip hop. Right, as you said, and I guess I'm sure this has happened throughout the history of time. Our parents grandparents, this isn't gonna last.
Mhm.
It's just a passing fad. It's something that you kids like right now, but it's not. It's going away.
Mhm.
Black people, we love R&B, so they figure that's what it's going to transition to. But for me, I'm just amazed at the fact of we started out sampling.
Mm.
Sampling was big when we were young,
Mhm.
and then came Napster.
Mm.
Napster, and what was that one that we used to always steal music from? Firefox, Fire, something. But after that, came down the laws about sampling and copyright infringement and all of these things. And to me, that's where I think the growth came, because we said, you know what, we can't sample anymore. We're gonna come up with original beats,
Mm.
and that's what we did.
Mm.
We showed them once again, because it wasn't about the artist per se. It wasn't about me taking Midnight Drive and doing something with it, and you like, oh, bro, yeah. It was the European Americans who owned the rights to that music that felt they weren't
Mm.
getting a piece of the pie.
Mhm.
So they were the ones that had an issue. And we said, all right, well, you know what? We're going to show you our resilience. We're going to show you how resourceful we are. And
Mm.
yeah, Bear Share. Bear Share was one of them, but it was the other one that gave you all the viruses. We're going to show you how resourceful we are, and we're going to flip it and do what we
Mm.
need to do. Now,
Mhm.
once again, everything is not dealt in absolutes. So I'm
Mhm.
not saying that all the European Americans were bad and just out for profit and gain.
Mhm.
I believe I told you the story. Shout out to Deborah Harry.
Mhm.
If you don't know who Deborah Harry is, I'm sure your man know who Deborah Harry is. But
Mhm.
Deborah Harry is the lead singer of Blondie,
Mm.
and I believe it was 1983 or 82. She was doing a live performance on Saturday Night Live.
Hmm.
She took some of her time slot to get the Funky 4+1
Wow.
to perform on the show, because she loved the music so much she wanted to introduce it to the world on a grand
Mm.
stage.
Hmm.
So we go from allies helping us put this music out there to nowadays where the music industry is controlled by other people.
Mm.
Music industry today is not controlled by us. We have
Mm.
no control, because everybody's selling their soul to get that hit.
Mm.
Everybody's selling their soul to get that bag. And you spoke about us, what I'm saying, in videos, taking pictures with stacks of money to our ear. I don't like quoting people, and I don't really like quoting Jay-Z too much. But he had that one line on the 444 album. What do he say? Putting money to your ear is a disconnect because we don't do that over here. Something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that Jay-Z, that Sean Carter
Mhm.
is one that whose career, whose path, whose business mind should be emulated by all that can.
Mm.
Because yeah, we came with a lot of dumb stuff early on,
Mhm.
but Jay-Z actually showed it to the world and let everybody know. Yeah, I wore the jerseys, I put the rims on, I got the fancy cars and did all of this stuff, because unfortunately that's what sold to us.
Hmm.
Once he got established enough to make his own entity, do his own thing, he switched it up. You see this
Hmm.
man in suits. He not
Mhm.
rapping about the same stuff. He's
Mhm.
doing things his way. And it's just unfortunate, because that money to the ear and putting all these cars in houses in these videos, we are just we're showing how we're showing how I don't want to say how small our ego or confidence is, or well, our self-worth. We're showing our self-worth to the world.
Mm.
Because once again, and we've had this conversation many times offline, it's a symbolism of, look, massa, we made it. I drive
Mm.
what you drive.
Hmm.
I live where you live. I
Hmm.
vacation where you vacation. It's kind of like us proving our manhood to the outside world. And as we all know, and I joke about this a lot, Steve Jobs had on his mom jeans,
Hmm.
that oversized sweater, in them granddad New Balance.
Hmm.
Rich people don't look rich.
Mm.
We're the only people that get money and try to show it off to the world like we got something to prove. And I'm not saying it's justification or cause, but people wonder why they get robbed, or they wonder
Mm.
why the house gets invaded,
Hmm.
because you're showing off too much.
Mm.
My granddaughter's mother, she taking pictures with stacks of money on her bed or whatever, and she taking
Mm.
pictures outside her house. And one day we had to tell her, like, yo, I can see your street sign.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? They don't pay attention to all of the things that go on around them.
Hmm.
Listen, I ain't got no money, and I pay attention to everything that goes on in my life. If I'm
Mm.
driving down the street and you follow me for too long, we making some lefts and some rights just to see where you go. And I know ain't
Mm.
nobody after me, but
Mm-hmm.
it's better to be safe than sorry. So I just think all that flash, all of that is just, it comes from them overcompensating for childhood trauma.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
I
They're trying
do. You
they
know I do. Yeah.
right. They're trying to run from their past instead of
Mm.
using their past to propel them to their future.
Mm.
They trying to show people like, look at me now. I made it. I am somebody. But the sad part about all of this is, and money is great, and being able to do what you want when you want to is an awesome thing. But if you don't have worth of self and you don't know the value of who you are as a person, you still gonna be unhappy. So we see so many
Mm.
millionaires and billionaires committing suicide, unfortunately, because
Facts.
that money did not make them happy. All of those possessions and the trips and the jewelry and the women and men and all that horn around, it didn't make them happy. And
Mm.
even though hip hop has glorified that at certain points in time, they pick and choose what they want to highlight because
Mm.
they don't highlight the positivity, the backpack rappers,
Mm.
the X Clan. And I
Mm.
think it took until now when, in my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
we are in the sad state of hip hop. In my opinion, it took till now for us to catch up to them
Mm.
because as you can see now, I don't care what it is, politicians,
Mm-hmm.
actors,
Mm-hmm.
doctors, they're wearing their natural hair.
Hmm.
They're looking, quote unquote, more African than they ever have.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
they were trying to educate us back in the day about that. Be proud of who you are, and if they don't accept you, screw them, because we got us.
Hmm.
And I guess what went on in Alabama
Mm.
was, you know what I mean. They gave us a little depiction of
Right.
we got us, and
Facts.
hopefully it's there's an eye opener, and especially with the music landscape and scheme of things, we don't need these record labels. I told you this many times, we don't need record labels to make hit records.
Hmm.
If you make some good stuff, throw it on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Throw it on Spotify. Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's going to catch up to it, and you can make your money this way. And I think that we're building a lot more entrepreneurs this way. But in that same vein, unlike past, it's a copycat league.
Mm.
Oh, you made a song like this? I'm gonna make a song like this. And,
Right.
and also, to me, hip hop is losing its originality
Mm.
because, like I say, I don't listen to the radio whatsoever unless I'm riding in somebody else's car or it just happens to be on around me. And every time, I promise you, every time I listen to the radio, I hear these new singers, rappers, whatever, taking old songs
Hmm.
and putting them in there.
Mm.
And
Hmm.
it'll come on and it'll be something, don't go chasing waterfalls. I'm like, okay, did they remix it? Nope. Somebody did a whole other song, but they put it in there because there's no originality in hip hop. So I
Hmm.
know there was a conversation, and I don't know if we need to have this conversation going forward. Is hip hop dead?
Mm.
I think in its current iteration, yeah.
Hmm.
From where we came from, and we can speak on it because I know a lot of people are going to say, yeah, whatever. We can speak on it because we were
Mm-hmm.
there. We were there from birth.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts. Yeah.
In the words of Old Dirty Bastard, I'm not a stepfather to this. I'm a father.
Mm. Facts.
Yeah, I mean, I was there since inception.
Mm-hmm.
So I've grown with hip hop.
Right.
Hip hop
Right.
is a part of me and it's ingrained in me. And people can call it hate, they can call it whatever it is that they want to. But when you see your child grow up and stray away from the values that were taught,
Mm-hmm.
or should I say, stray away from the fundamentals
Mm-hmm.
where it came from, you get a little perturbed, you get a little upset. Like, yo, I mean, I still love my child,
Mm-hmm.
but my child isn't what I raised it to be. Our child isn't what
Facts.
we as a hip hop community foresaw it being in the
Mm-hmm.
future. We knew it could grow. We knew it could lead to other opportunities. We knew that there was
Mm-hmm.
expansion in the air, but
Right.
we didn't know that it was going to go so far left
Mm.
that these kids were going to sell their soul
Mm. Yeah.
just to be famous.
Yeah. 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 Well said, well put. Man, I can't follow that up. But I want to say this. You have any closing words, bro?
Long live hip hop.
Facts. I'm going to say this. Man, I don't know if the world is watching, but man, hip hop is changing everything. Look at Congress. They wearing sneakers now with their suits. That's because of us. Man, look, go on YouTube. 50 Cent is doing a world tour. He's going to different countries and they're rapping his stuff in English. Come on,
Facts.
man. You know what I mean? Hip hop is everything, man. Now, yes, Hendo and we could have did the Encyclopedia Brown way and started from the beginning. You know what I mean? August 11th, 1971. You know, hip hop was born in the park and all this and the D. We could have did that. We know everybody's going to do that. So this is our way of talking about hip hop. And if y'all like what we're talking about, man, subscribe. Check us out. Check out previous episodes, man. This is what we do. And we do it because we love the culture. And like Hendo said, man, we grew up with it. So who better to listen to? You know what I mean? Now, mind you, a lot of this are our opinions. But that's where you come in. You can always hit us up, you know, and let us know how you feel. You could always hit us up and say, hey, why don't you talk about this? We've done it before. So until next time, man, I hope all is well with the world. And happy birthday to hip hop. And for y'all that don't know, hip hop's birthday is August the 11th, this Friday. So, man, until next time, we out. Peace.